try anything and you're canceled, bro.
Hello and welcome to the final podcast, the last podcast you'll ever listen to.
Your final bros are here. It's Brian Hopper Lacrosse and Shane, all the bitches love me, Smith.
And we are ending Alexis Texas Chainsaw Massacre month. This is the last episode, the last time we're going to do it, because this is the last Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, and it's titled The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 2022 Netflix version.
Yeah, so last week we did Leatherface, which was the prequel. This is the deep sequel. This is the story of Leatherface 40 years essentially after the original movie.
This is the Halloween route of sequels.
100%. This is Old Man Jed, Old Man Leatherface. What's his name in this movie?
I don't even remember.
Can I get a check?
Yeah, check that.
Give me a second.
I don't know if he's a Sawyer or a Hewitt or just Leatherface.
They just call him Leatherface on IMDb.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. This is we're not in the same place in Texas. We're not in that same house.
Nope.
We're in a different part of Texas in a weird looking ghost town.
Yes, really spooky. We're gonna get our Zoomers of the movie.
Zoomers for sure.
They're all about building up a ghost. Okay, so I'm gonna say this right off the bat. This movie's not good, but it has a charm to it. But I'm gonna say now the plot of this movie is so fucking stupid.
Oh, it's horribly stupid.
So it's these four Zoomers, right? And they're going to go to this Texas ghost town to make it a town that is inclusive with little shops.
Yeah.
It's just very, why a ghost town in Texas? That's like the worst place to have this kind of place.
I don't even know what kind of commerce they're actually bringing to this place either. Because they're talking about an art gallery or something.
Yeah. They're like, oh, and we'll have a quaint little pastry shop here.
I feel like Texas is not where you want to market that shit.
You just want to have a gun store and somewhere to get good barbecue.
Yeah, 100%. No one gives a fuck about your fucking art gallery in Texas.
Right? They're worried about feral hogs, not the new fucking Banksy piece that's out on the market.
Let's trap these feral hogs that's plaguing the landscape.
Right?
What are we going to do by getting a painted canvas? And how we're going to smack the hogs with it?
Right? It's so stupid. And I almost feel like this movie's written to make those characters unlikable.
Yeah, definitely.
They can't be making this to make them likable.
I really hope not, because even in the very first interaction, they're unsufferable.
Yes. So without further ado, because there is actually a lot to talk about this movie, I feel like, and I feel like it will go on for a bit. We'll just get into the spooky pit now, because there's a lot to talk about.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's a Netflix film. It was released in 2022. Leatherface has been hiding for 48 years in an abandoned orphanage. Now he's ready to kill again for Mama. It's directed by David Blue Garcia, and it stars the likes of Sarah Yarkin as Melody, Elsie Fisher as Lila, Mark Burnham as Leatherface, Jacob Lattimore as Dante Spivey, Mo Dunford as Richter, and Owen Fury as Sally Hardesty. I hope I said her name right.
I think you
did. The OG?
No, I think the
recast.
Well, because I think the original. I think she passed away.
Can we get a check on that? I think you're right.
I believe the OG passed away, and that's why they had it recast.
Yeah, her name. You're talking about Sally, right?
Is Sally in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Check who the original one was.
I think she passed away.
No, she.
Oh shit! She was one of the cult ladies in Mandy.
The original?
No, this one here.
Oh, this one here.
Yeah.
Yes.
She is not.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like that would have been first.
They recast her because that we always talked about in terms of scream queens. That girl's scream was haunting.
It was. It really, really was. Yeah, this movie does Sally wrong because she's kind of pointless almost. She's like an afterthought in this movie. Even though she comes in to be the big savior towards the end, It's really poorly done.
It kind of hurts the movie, honestly, especially when she doesn't die. Like, I actually think it would have been pretty cool if she just dies and that was it.
Yeah, agreed.
She comes back in and just realizes she's no match to go head on head with a psychopathic killer.
But she makes so many poor decisions in this movie.
Was the decision to go 1v1 with Leatherface?
It was the decision not to shoot him when he was unarmed.
That too. When she had him in his room, dead to rights.
Yes, but we'll get there. Let's talk about, okay, so our initial 4, they stop at a little gas station where I've heard this before, and I completely agree with their point, and that's why I want to bring this up. They go to a gas station that is advertising Texas Chainsaw Massacre merch, right? Like, it's a bottle opener, it's a shirt. That's the equivalent of going to Michigan and going to a gas station where they're selling Ted Bundy teas.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's the equivalent.
It's kind of like weirdly celebrating a
serial killer,
a murderer.
Yeah, it's weird. It's not a real thing that happens. And now my next biggest problem with this movie, they're getting gas. The one guy, Richter, pulls up to get gas, and he has a gun on him. You openly antagonize the man with a gun?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they referenced the fact that he has his gun out to the size of his penis.
Yes, but like they're saying that loud enough that he can hear it. One, why?
Well,
and two, what if that guy is just a bad guy and he'll just shoot? Like,
yeah, she was trying to make her sister, was it her sister?
Yeah, her sister.
Feel better because of the past that she had with a traumatic incident with a school shooting. But from like what I gathered in this movie, I don't even think her sister would have cared. She probably would have rather just like not bring it up.
Right.
Like, it's more of like, let's forget it than like, oh, let me relive this traumatic past.
The sister is my favorite of those 4.
Oh, for sure.
Lila actually...
For sure. She actually builds a relationship with the guy.
Yes, Lila is the only one who seems like a reasonable, like down-to-earth person in this movie.
It's like one of those movies where like she had a traumatic incident, but like people have to make it about themselves by feeling so supportive that they go overboard and make the other person uncomfortable.
Yes. Like, Lila's kind of likable. She's kind of just there, not doing it. She just wants to listen to her iPod, and that's it. Like, not iPod, but like, you know, or Spotify or whatever. She's like unbothered by shit. And it's mainly Melody and the guy. What's the guy's name?
Dante.
Are so unlikable.
These Zoomer bastards.
They are so unlikable.
How would you define them? Would you define their characters as bastards?
Yes. Like, literally, yes. There is not a redeeming, especially Melody. There's not a redeeming quality about her in this movie. Yeah. She's so annoying.
She tries to be like nice like later on, but like I don't even know. I feel like you made her character more disingenuous, like, because there's instances where she tries to help out in the bus scene, like all these weird, like other scenes where she's trying to help. Her character comes off as like really pretentious, and I don't really know whether or not like she's a mean person or a nice person.
Yeah. It's annoying.
I want to say like her intentions are well, but they're really not perceived as such because she does not get them off on the right foot in this town at all.
Especially, let's talk about the fact that their person they're meeting for keys is the guy they made fun of at the gas station.
Yeah, they didn't realize that this guy, but small town, they're already burning bridges. This guy has the keys to the place.
Yes, because he owns a little like mechanic shop there, and now they got to work with him, and they've already been a dick to him.
I feel like they've done the worst job of going from like a big city and not assimilating. I feel like they've just come here and just tried to already like, oh, we're gentrifying and we want you to know about it.
Well, that's the thing. And that's why I almost feel like this movie is directed for us not to like them, because they do everything that would make a person not like them. Like, they come in and they act like, yeah, just because they bought the town, like that they're all these high and mighty, like they just like look down on the locals, like, oh, it's...
Yeah. I think the craziest thing of this whole situation is like we have all the documents. This is our building. And then when they have everything for the deal and they even have the interaction with the mom, they literally force this lady out and he doesn't have the documents.
Yes. And the thing, okay, so they go into this place, right? Because they see a Confederate flag on it.
So they need to get that removed.
They got to get it removed. Okay, I get that. That makes sense. Especially with the crowd you're bringing in. You don't want a Confederate flag up there. Get it. But they go in and they see an old woman there and her hulking fucking son. And they're like, you got to be out of here. You don't have the deed here. And she's like, oh, that old business with the bank?
She's like,
I settled that business with the bank.
Just settled the business. It's my property. I'm on a respirator. Please don't take me out of my home. But if you're going to, I'm going to need to see the documents.
And she's right.
Well, yeah, you can't just walk into someone's house and be like, yeah, you got to leave now.
Yeah. And so she's like, go get the documents. And they don't. Instead, they just called the police, which they're then forcing her out. And she obviously has a heart attack. And then they're going to bring her in the wagon. Her son goes in there with her. And this is another like thing. I'm like, well, they're like, oh, send the blonde girl with them. Why did any of them even have to go?
It makes no sense why the blonde girl with them. What was she going to accomplish? What was her duty there? Just to make sure that the lady was okay? Because now they felt that guilt.
The police would obviously call because then they'd be like, oh, she died. We're going to have to ask you about what happened.
They got that old guilt.
Yeah. Oh, the old guilt. So the bus pulls up. They're doing auctions while the other people are being transported away. And as soon as the old woman dies, like all hell breaks loose because then Leatherface snaps a cop's arm. This is like another thing. Leatherface is always strong, but he doesn't have superhuman strength. He's not Michael Myers. He's not like this, or Jason. He's not a mythical figure. He's a man.
He's so strong that he basically took this guy's hand and broke it off of his body.
He kills the guy with his own broken bone.
He fucks this guy up.
Yeah. The cop then gets shot in the neck in the front because the gun goes off.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, not even that. Like, he literally breaks that guy's hand and then with his exposed bone stabs him with it. Like, it's fucking wild.
But that's the charm, in a way, to this movie, because that's a really cool kill.
Yeah, the kills are great.
If, like, Jason was doing it.
Again, like, I think the kills are really insane. Then, as I said, the gun goes off. It's going to cause this car to go off the road.
Yeah. And it slams into a thing. We see Leatherface get out.
Of course.
He carves his mom's face off. He wears it as a mask, as one does.
Yeah.
But, like, don't you feel like he's just not human in this movie when in every other movie he is just portrayed as a man?
He looks, even his, like, skin. I don't know what skin he has on currently, but he's got, like, this sag skin.
Yeah.
Like, he does look like an older, beaten dude. Like, he just looks like not...
But, like, he's 70. He shouldn't be
an
able
older
to
guy,
snap that man's arm off.
But he still maintains that strength, that superhuman hulking strength. That really, I see what you're saying. Doesn't make sense, but at the same time is crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of, like, exciting to watch.
It's kind of fun to watch, but you know it's insane.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
But I like it. Charm. Mm-hmm. So let's go back. We're selling this little quaint shop. Do I have anyone throwing 10,000 on it?
I will throw $7.
Yeah, like
inflation.
Like who want? Like I don't get it because they're all buying this. It's a ghost town.
Yeah.
But like, so if you're building it back up, like, what makes you think people are gonna want to go?
There's nothing to go here.
It's in the middle of the desert.
Even the town, like, even if it has rich history, it's like there's just dust.
Yeah. Like what? Like what makes them think all these Zoomers are gonna want to move out to the middle of nowhere, Texas?
These pretentious kids think they're building the next Austin out here.
Right. It doesn't work that way.
No.
Or people would actually be doing it.
For sure.
There's one other thing. What makes them just like they literally go to check it out like 10 minutes before everyone's coming. Like if you have investors coming, you're checking that land out like prior to that.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
That is a good point. Well, number one, they thought that no one would be in there. They assumed no one would be there. That's why she's like, when the lady was there, she's like, you're not supposed to be here.
That's why I do agree with Matt, though. When you check that out like a week in advance,
sure,
just to make sure everything's up to code, or like you're not going to give all of them asbestos when they go to look in the buildings or something.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
Yeah, but
was it supposed to be like they already paid for it? Like it was supposed to be already theirs, and there was just like an issue with.
But that's the thing, though. Like, wouldn't you make sure you have all the deeds to every building before, like, hand? Because they don't actually have the deed, so they get the phone call mid-auction that the old woman is dead and that like they need help, and that's when they go to check for the deed and they don't find the deed, so they're gonna go inside to check, but Richter takes the keys to the bus. He's like, I am not letting you leave until you show me the deed.
Yeah.
And they don't have it.
Yeah, so I'm going to say that Richter probably is kind of stealing. He should not be taking their keys.
No.
But also at the same time, they shouldn't have went in there and took this lady's house from her without showing any kind of valid documentation. Also makes me believe, like, if this was legit, like, they would close the house. Like, there's no way they would get to this point and not know that she's still there.
Yeah.
Like, so he never closed this place. He never got the needed documents. He just probably thought no one would be there and they would just take it.
Yeah, it just, none of it makes sense, man. It's, like I said, it's not a good movie, but it's there's charming parts coming up.
For sure.
Mainly because of Leatherface.
Yeah, so at this point in time, the blonde girl does survive the crash. She does it before that, lets her know that the old lady has been killed.
Yep.
She's dead. And Melody sees her sister hanging out with Richter.
Yeah.
Did you bang Richter?
That's kind of, because she says, that guy, are you kidding me? But I don't think they did anything. Granted, she comes out of the bathroom smoking a cigarette, which I'm like, huh. Isn't she like just out of high school?
Yeah.
But I don't think it's actually like that. I think they were just talking about guns and steers and stuff. Classic Texas stuff. So the blonde girl, I don't even say her name because she's literally going to just get murdered here. She doesn't get out of the car. She slowly tries to do it, but instead Leatherface comes, he breaks the window, he grabs a shard of glass, cuts her whole stomach open. She's dead.
Yeah, she gets carved up pretty good. I mean, like this is a scene where like Leatherface is like taking the dead bodies in the car and just making sure they're dead.
Yeah.
So she kind of sees herself like the struggle of I'm not going to be able to get out of here and realizing that even if I play dead, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Because he's literally just taking the dead bodies and just
carving them up.
Slamming them even harder. Just absolutely carving up these corpses.
Yes. She does get a radio call off, though, that there's a man wearing another person's face. And obviously that call gets to Sally, which is how Sally ends up going to this ghost town to investigate.
Yep. This will prep her to come.
Yes. So I believe that leads to Melody and Dante searching the house now, right, for the documents.
Yep.
And this is kind of like weird because how does Leatherface walk from this all the way to the town in like record time?
I mean, Shane, he's old, but he's still spry.
He's very spry. So Melody's going to be upstairs in the woman's bedroom. Obviously, she finds the deed to the place, so she now realizes they stole that place from her.
Dante's a dirty liar.
Dante's a liar. They've killed this woman. But Dante's going to get his comeuppance because Leatherface is going to be in the kitchen with him, and he's going to cleave his face.
It's pretty brutal.
And I know Matt doesn't like this scene.
Is it because he actually doesn't die here?
Is that why, Matt?
Yes, completely. He literally slashes his neck, and literally it should have been dead.
I feel like a little throwback.
And then next thing you know, he just walks like me, like a quarter mile, and just has a slashed face.
Because that is a lot of blood falling out there. Like, I don't think he would make it as far as he does.
No, he'd be dead.
But he makes it all the way outside. Bless you.
Wow.
He makes it all the way outside to then, like, Richter, who finds him dead. And then he's like, who did this to you? What happened? So Richter goes into that house where Melody is hiding under the bed because she has seen Dante killed.
Yeah. She hides in the closet, and he opens the closet, and he looks at everything in there except for her. Then she's hiding under the bed, doesn't spot her under the bed. Even I think he sits on that. He does like literally everything and dances around her. But then Richter comes in.
Yes, and Richter sees the reflection of Leatherface in the mirror, so he's able to kind of like get the jump and fight him. But Richter gets his entire leg snapped on a kick.
Yeah.
It's really brutal to watch.
Oh my God. And I feel bad for Richter too. I feel like he didn't, and it makes me realize two things. Number one, he didn't deserve this. And number two, it's crazy how this character would have been in this position, even like protecting the integrity and who owns the house by taking the keys, and he ends up dying for these kids.
I know. Because he gets his leg broke, he gets thrown into a window, he gets stabbed in the neck with the glass, and then when he's laying down bleeding, still trying to hand the keys to Melody under the bed, gets his head caved in by a hammer.
Yep.
Really cool kill.
Yeah.
Really cool kill.
Kills are cool. Kills are cool.
So Melody is going to run out. She's going to run downstairs. This scene pissed me off because she gets a fucking sledgehammer thrown at her chest.
Oh, down the stairs?
Yes.
Knocks her to the bottom of the stairs.
Wouldn't that have caved her chest in? Am I crazy for thinking that?
It's like a fucking mallet.
And she's unfazed. She's crawling. Another upsetting scene because he puts the chainsaw through the floor and she's like crawling straight where clearly she could just do a rollover to the side to avoid the chainsaw because you can't carve sideways. Like it wouldn't like do that turn. But instead she just runs to the poop pipe. She gets the poop pipe cut. She gets the poop on her head. She's got the poo-poo.
Ooh,
she got the poo-poo on her head.
A lot of infection in this one. You think?
Yeah.
You think with all that shit and cut being combined. And Sally Hardesty's on her way. She's tracking the car accident. She's doing the expert research to find Leatherface. She's been waiting for this moment for over 40 years.
Yes. So she's going to slowly approach, but the Melody and the other sister, Lila, they get on the bus. They tell the bus driver to leave. This scene is another one where Leatherface is 70, holding a chainsaw. Clearly behind them is going to catch up to the bus to cut the wheel. Is that like...
Yeah, he prevents them from leaving on the bus.
Yes.
Yep.
The bus driver gets out to check. You hear, ah! He's dead.
It's interesting because this one kind of feels like she just went through a school shooting.
Yeah.
So this is going to be like V2. This is like the bus massacre of 2022.
Yeah.
The slow impending doom.
There's a head that's then thrown onto the bus. And let's talk about the infamous bus scene.
Yeah, this
scene is actually incredible.
So it's a bunch
You take that opening line out, this scene is awesome.
It's a gore fest. It's Splatterhouse in a bus.
Yes.
Essentially. So Melody and Leather are going to get in the bus. All of a sudden, there's going to be a new passenger that comes on the bus. This passenger has a chainsaw. It's not like the other passengers who have vodka. He's got a chainsaw. Yes. Door's going to close behind him. There's a dude filming it, and the dude filming has the famous line. He's basically saying, bro, you're canceled. You can't come on here with that.
So, I don't know. I kind of like it. And this is the thing. I kind of like from this moment, like... through the whole bus, because I actually like when you see their cameras and filming, you just see people being like, yo, this shit's fake as hell.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny too. But it's like everyone's like stacking at the back of the bus, creeped out. This dude has a chainsaw coming in. He kind of looks a little, look at his face. He just looks so goofy. I feel like he's like the leather's not even strapped to the back of his head anymore. I feel like he's just wearing like a face sheet.
To be fair,
it's just like a mask with not even being tied.
Yeah, it's kind of like rushed makeshift kind of thing. He does look like a buffoon here.
Yeah, it looks. You know what? It kind of looks more. I hate to say this. I don't want to credit the movie at all because it looks stupid, but at the same time, it's probably more realistic of what skin would look like. Because,
on your face.
Yeah, because like the reality is when they have like all this other skin, they make it look like he just is wearing someone else's face.
Yeah.
But this generally looks like really like foiled, disgusting looking skin.
Yeah. And this scene is just him swinging. So there's stupid parts because, okay.
David Blue Garcia is the director.
He's the director, right? Yeah.
And what does he tweet? Who hired this clown?
It's actually kind of funny. You see like little things like if they all just attack him now, they would be in a much better position than just backing up and letting him kill them one by one.
Well, because it's a fucking chainsaw and it's not a saber. Like, it's going to have to grind through bone. They could all make a play on him.
Yes.
He'll kill somebody.
He will. He might kill two of you.
Yeah.
But it's better than you dying one by one by just slowly backing up.
Yeah.
But, like, it's so cool to watch him massacre everyone.
Because he's massacring people. The blood is splattering on the floor. They're slipping on the blood.
Yeah.
He is literally throwing limbs. Like, it is a tantric, terrifying scene.
Yes.
But I actually agree with you. I like this scene. People think it was kind of corny, and I agree. The cringiness is there, but it's a pretty sick scene.
It is. Like, it's illogical with like them not attacking or the fact they don't understand that those windows slide.
And I love seeing, as facts, I love seeing blue Leatherface. We've seen a lot of different Leatherfaces and Hewitts and Sawyers, but have you ever seen blue Leatherface?
Yo, what's with us reviewing movies where they're just shot in blue lately?
Yeah, this is straight David Blue.
Like, but yeah, like, I don't know. It's an awesome, like the blood splatter on the windows, the blood hands slapping. Like, it's a cool shot. The pooling of the blood through the bathroom floor.
Then, of course, the both sisters are in and nobody else is.
Yeah. Well, you had to murder the whole bus. They do actually, though, finally escape the bus. The one woman who was the head of the bus gets sawed in half when she finally gets out of the window.
Of course.
It's exciting. I enjoy watching it.
And here's Matt that's going to rag on this
I'm
movie.
100% going to rag on it. That door is wide open. She was an idiot and didn't close the door when the head flew in. The door is wide open. She could have just ran out.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of bad decisions being made, but it's fun to watch.
Oh, I mean, of course, the blood is very good.
They build this character up for like 5 minutes just so she can get chopped in half by the chainsaw, which is the girl that was, I don't know, she was like the advisor or
I think
financial
she was
advisor or something.
I think she was a financial
to
advisor.
the project.
Now, the movie's going to get progressively dumber and dumber because Melody and Lila are going to escape the bus through the hatch in the roof. They're going to run directly into Sally, who's going to be like, oh, I got you guys, get in. And then she locks them in the car as bait.
This is fucking nuts. Like, this scene was redonkulous. Like, I couldn't believe it. They're just trying to escape trauma, and he's like, no, I need to finish this, and you guys need to stay in the car, in a cop car, where the back is locked and they can't get out.
Why couldn't she just let them leave?
It's a death trap. She should know everything about Leatherface. You should know he's every place at once.
But anyway, so she's going to go, she locks them in, they're screaming. She goes up to Leatherface's bedroom where Leatherface is sitting on the bed unarmed. She has a shotgun and she's like, say my name? And I was like, what in the 40 fucking years has made you think this guy speaks English? You saw a man grunt and just do tongue motions when you were chained up. What makes you think he has the capacity to remember things for 40 years or speak? What makes you think any of it?
This is probably the most selfish thing I've seen in a Texas Chainsaw movie.
Right.
The fact that she thinks this cold-blooded killer who she knows has social issues, she knows has a psychotic break.
Yeah.
Like, how is this man 40 years later going to remember her name? He's killed people before here. He's killed people after. Just because she's the one that got away, who saw her friends killed, he's going to remember her?
What makes her think she even knows his name? Her name. Like, they don't say her name in the first movie. And what the fuck makes her think he has a TV he's watching where they're doing... He's like, you know, I'm going to go home and watch the Sally Hardesty interview.
Yeah. Like, does she think, like, okay, because she knows how much of a killer he was, so she has never forgotten the moment and has impacted her everyday life from the day it happened 40 years ago. Why is she giving him the same respect to think he's never forgetting that she left? He doesn't give a fuck.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, he's not like, oh, this is the one that got away. He's just killing anybody who goes onto his property.
I couldn't, like, I completely agree. It's crazy. Let's get crazier. She's going to let him leave to go murder the two girls until eventually she comes downstairs and shoots at him, and he looks at her and it's like, she's like, now you remember me? What?
I love this scene. Yeah, where he's like 1v1ing her in the middle of the street, and then she has this really cranky old lady yell in the middle of the street. She's just like this crackle witch laugh.
God. Dude.
She shoots him with a shotgun, and he just eats it.
Yeah. But that's the thing, and that's what I was saying earlier. He has been established in every movie, even the fucking Michael Bay remakes, that he's a human that gets damaged. He takes cleaver shots. His arm gets cut off. He's incapacitated so many times. But now he gets hit by shotguns. He gets stabbed. Am I watching Jason Voorhees?
I know.
But let's talk about her. Is she fucking Jason? Because she gets chainsawed in the stomach. Lifted up into the air with it revved. It's revved. Her insides are being carved up and she's thrown into the trash.
Yeah, she's literally tossed into the she's hoisted above his head. Yeah. She's hoisted like 10 feet in the air. right? Like he's got the chainsaw up almost 180 degrees and he literally launches her body onto the trash.
And she survives.
She survives that. I do like the chainsaw toss.
Oh, it's amazing. But that seems awesome if it leads to a death.
If it leads to her being dead. Yes.
It's such a cool kill. But she doesn't die, so it doesn't count.
It's nuts. It's nuts how what they're surviving in this movie.
Yes. Let's talk about how they decide instead of just leaving, they need to mow him down. But then because he throws a chainsaw at the window, they have to veer out of the way and fucking drive directly into the shop.
Is this a shop? Where do they go to fight him? Is it a shop or is it like a YMCA? I have no idea. It looks like a Boys and Girls Club.
It does, because there's a
fucking pool. Is this
Matt? I just opinion.
Unless it's like some kind of a cowboy trough or cowboy pool in the fucking body shop.
I don't know. Let's talk about how Leatherface now is like this fucking Rambo character where he leaves traps. Like I'm watching First Blood.
Well, they could just leave, especially these two. They have no all they need to do is get out. They have no motivation or willingness to kill him. They just need to leave. Sally Hardesty has the revenge factor, which, to be honest, I don't know how she has not located him in 40 years.
Yeah, I don't know. So Melody gets trapped in the car because a metal rod goes through her leg when they get stopped. So Lila runs out and she grabs a rifle, right? And instead of doing the smart thing, which is just, I don't know, shoot him or like make sure the gun's loaded, she says, "Hey, leatherfuck."
Oh, yeah, it's terrible.
And she tries to shoot him
from the outside.
But the gun's not loaded.
Gun's not loaded. It's the second time I feel like she shot a gun that's not been loaded in this movie.
So now Leatherface chases her, and that's when we get Dumpster Sally.
Yeah, Dumpster Sally. She's literally on trash bags, and to help save Lila, takes a pop shot at Leatherface from the floor, literally surviving the madness that had taken place before with a hole in her stomach. She's missing intestines on the trash and taking shots and nailing Leatherface.
He actually runs into a movie theater at this point.
Yeah.
That's where he goes. He goes to a movie theater. So Lila takes the shotgun from Sally. Does she get her sister out now?
I think her sister comes.
Comes later. Okay.
But here's my next thing. Like, when her sister like meets up with them, I actually think like doesn't she go in there and then I think that the sister comes and saves her.
Yes, you're right. You're correct.
Before that, I want to mention that there's a scene where Melody, the sister, is in the car and Leatherface comes up to the car and she talks to him and she's like, "This is because we killed your mama," right? Like she tries to like apologize to Leatherface.
Yeah.
It's like a 1 minute apology to Leatherface that he's just like,
yeah. Why does everyone just assume this man speaks?
His man is
He's
killing
wearing
him.
his mom's face.
He's wearing his mom's face.
You don't reason with a man with his mom's face on.
I just don't understand. But this is also to her character. Like, why are they trying to she's mean in the beginning. She's nice. Like, I don't know what they're trying to vibe with her, but I don't care. I don't care. Why am I supposed to care?
I completely agree. So Lila goes into the movie theater to hunt Leatherface and instead of trying to escape. But this is what I said. Leatherface turns into John Rambo. He leaves a fucking chainsaw trap where it's a rev chainsaw. So when she goes for it, he tackles her and they get into like this fight with the chainsaw buyer and she like stabs him in the gut a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And like she shotguns him in the chest twice. How is he still standing?
Also, the other thing is he threw the chainsaw at her leg.
Yeah.
Wouldn't she be like, she would be debilitated.
Well, she limps a little.
She limps. I do like the scene though. I really do like the chainsaw toss.
Yeah, well that makes sense because that's something he would do. He's a fucking animal. He would just throw his chainsaw.
Right, but
he wouldn't use it as a booby trap.
Also, I love this scene too. Like, let's watch this scene right here. He throws the chainsaw from across the room and then appears right in front of her to kick the shotgun away.
True. How'd he get there? We would have saw him in the background.
It's literally nuts. So hold on, let me fast forward this. So he's gonna throw the shotgun. Sorry, he's gonna throw the chainsaw.
Yeah.
right there. He throws it across the room, knocks her down. She's trying to grab the chainsaw, literally not in sight. And then he kicks
it out of the way.
It's crazy.
Oh, baby. But she gets saved by Melody.
Melody does come back and saves her. I think Melody has a weapon as well. Does she shoot him?
She shoots him.
Yeah, that's right. With a gun that actually does work.
Yes. And then she uppercuts him with a chainsaw.
This is sick, dude. This is... She jumps on his back.
Yeah.
This is some clownery shit.
Yeah. The fact though that like he gets uppercutted with a chainsaw and still still lives. How does he not die?
That would easily split his fucking jaw. It's actually a cool scene. Like I do think some of these the movie is shot well in my opinion.
And the scenes are really good when they're like
at the YMCA.
Yeah, they're just stupid at the same time because like he should be dead. He's a man. It is established he is a man. He's also now a 70-year-old man.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, anyway, they survive. They get into their Tesla, their auto-driving Tesla, I think.
These Zoomers, they're going to zoom out in their tests.
The Tesla that is driving literally 4 miles an hour, even though I would be fucking flooring it to get out of there.
Yeah.
Instead, they don't. So Melody gets grabbed through the window and she gets decapitated by Leatherface, who just holds up Melody's head as the car still drives at 4 miles an hour with Lila just screaming.
Yeah, they have it like set to auto drive, which might be realistic. I have no idea.
Yeah, but I'm saying it probably does auto drive, but wouldn't you want to be just flooring it out of there?
Getting out. I mean, these entitled brats think they killed Leatherface, Shane.
I mean, to be fair, they should have. Like everything they've done to him,
100%. But do I absolutely love her? I do actually love this scene. I love everything about it. I love him taking her out of the car, reappearing right inside and taking her out. Does it make sense? No. Is it great? In my opinion, yes.
Yeah, that's
he's holding it, and then he's doing the classic Leatherface chainsaw swing while she's getting auto-driven on the top, and she's just going home screaming.
It's so
Does he have the head on the chainsaw?
He's holding the head in one hand while swinging. Yes, 100%.
Oh, I thought the head was like the chainsaw was through the head.
No, he still holds in that hand. So he two-hands it with the head and the saw while swinging.
I honestly think it's a pretty cool scene.
Well, he's limping, so that's cool.
Showing his at 70, like rare signs.
Yeah, so he's holding it in the other hand.
Right there. Yeah, he is holding it. He's just holding it near the chainsaw.
Yeah. This has a post-credit scene.
Did not know that.
I don't think I knew that either.
It's just him walking to the house.
Walking back to the house?
Like I think it's supposed to be the OG house.
Are they going to make one more? Is that why?
That's why I think they did this. Because he just limps his way back home. Granted, is that the house from any of the movies?
So no. No, I think it's not at all. It doesn't look anything like it. I think, was it Leatherface? One of the movies recreated the house. One of the
was Leatherface.
Yeah.
They recreated it.
They recreated the house, which is crazy because they barely show it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Wild.
And that is the end of Alexis Texas Chainsaw Massacre month. That is the end of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series. We have done it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to give our rating, and then we're going to rank all of our movies. So my very simply put is this movie is bad, but I enjoyed watching this to no end. I would rewatch this movie over a majority of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. But with that said, I'm giving this movie a 4 out of 10.
That's fair. Yeah, that's very fair, Shane.
I would watch this over a majority of them, but it's not one of the... Yeah, it's a 4 out of 10. I think that's fair.
That's probably the safe rating.
What are you going to give it?
A 5.
Woo, baby.
Told you I was going a little higher on this one. So is it a low 5? It is on the cusp of 4 to 5. Is it probably too high? Maybe a little bit, but I kind of like, as much as I don't like it, it was entertaining. I do buy like what the Leatherface would be 40 years after, just taking care of his mama. I mean, I think that made sense. I actually like that leap versus the Leatherface leap of Bud not being Leatherface.
Oh, this movie is 1,000 times better than Leatherface.
The way they went with both approaches, I think this one makes more sense 40 years later than essentially 30, 40 years before. Or 20 years before, whatever. In any case, was it a little bit fucking woke and annoying and frustrating. It was, but at the same time, like, I like the kills. I thought it was shot well. As stupid as the story and some of the shit was with Sally coming back and not dying, if executed better, I thought it would have been a decent movie.
I agree.
I just think it had small misses, but I kind of like enjoyed watching.
That's what I'm saying. I would watch this again, despite its flaws, which is a testament to how entertaining some of these kills and the actual Leatherface scenes are.
Yeah, like it was never boring. I was entertained by it. I kind of like the Texas road trip the kids took. I don't
like the kids.
Kids are bad. They don't make sense with the character motivations. There's only one good character in the movie, and all of the background and the side story of Sally coming, while I think it could have been solid, it does not end well at all. Like the fact that she's not dead.
Yeah.
Like if she would have, like if they invested in that story for her to get there and just be absolutely murdered by Leatherface, it would have been a trillion times
Yes,
better.
if she dies on the toss, I actually like the Sally story a lot
100%.
more. It's her surviving that and being able to shotgun him from the trash bags. It's very stupid.
One of the Halloweens do that, right? Where they like have the doctor in it. Like, is it the first Halloween where they have him in it for like half the movie and he comes back just to get killed by Michael Myers?
Yes.
I think it's the first Halloween of the new set.
She put the hat on. Do you think that she's going to end up doing like a similar...
It's a good call, and I think the answer is yes. Sad to say. I'd rather it not be. I like the story of just like, okay, I survived this, so why would I ever go the fuck back?
Yeah, sometimes survivors just need to go away.
Yeah, which is why they did so good with the first Texas movie.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, they knew that Sally was the one that got away, and that was it until they brought her back.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. Like, no one's going to go back after that trauma.
Yeah, I agree.
But yes, I do. I think that was the purpose. She put the hat on because she knows that now she needs to avenge her sister. And it's the whole story arc of like, I needed to what was my purpose in life after I went through this traumatic ordeal? How am I going to overcome it? I'm going to overcome it by killing a murderer myself. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so rankings now. We could start from best to worst, because the best is the more obvious one. The best is the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes. Undoubtedly.
My number 2 is the Jessica Biel remake.
Yeah, I'm pulling up my list here. I just did it 2 seconds ago. Yes, correct.
Okay. My number 3, I was flip-flopping between certain ones, but I'm actually going to go with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning.
That's what I have as well.
Okay, so far we are 3 for 3 at the same.
Correct. We will disagree probably from here on out.
So my next one at 4, I'm throwing in, I decided, I'm actually going to throw in Texas Chainsaw 3D at number 4.
Honestly, very fair. Very fucking
I
fair.
like it.
Because I feel like there's a huge drop-off between those 3 movies that you mentioned.
And the rest,
the
yes,
rest of
100%.
But mine is the third Texas movie, Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw 3.
You are a big sucker for the Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo Mortensen flair, for sure.
Okay, so my number 4 is going to be Texas Chainsaw. Oh, no, we're on to my number 5. My number 5 is going to be Texas Chainsaw 2.
Okay, my number 5 is this Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Okay.
That shitty is and corny and want to talk about cringe.
Yes.
That movie's... I do like that movie more than this one.
Yes.
But that movie's equally as cringy.
Yes.
What's the one line that Alexander...
Do your thing, cuz.
Oh my God.
But like that's the thing. That movie's another one. It's a guilty pleasure movie.
Yeah,
I would
I'm with
watch
ya.
that movie anytime someone's like want to throw in Texas Chainsaw 3D.
I'm with you. It's fun to watch.
Yes. So we're on number 6 now, right? From there?
Yeah.
Okay. So my number 6 is actually going to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Netflix one.
Me too. I bet it's 6 as well.
Okay. So now my number 7 is going to be Texas Chainsaw 3.
Got it. And then mine is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Okay. So that's where our main big differences are. Because now I'm assuming we're both going with number 8 being Leatherface.
Correct.
And then number 9 being The Next Generation. And I'll be honest, I highly considered Leatherface being last.
Yeah, it's a toss up.
Because McConaughey is, you know what? Fuck it.
Shane, that's crazy.
I'm going to put Next Generation at 8 and Leatherface at 9. And I'm doing it solely for the fact I would rewatch Next Generation to show people the overacting of McConaughey. rather than watch Leatherface, because there's nothing about Leatherface I'm like, I want to go back and rewatch that. I could rewatch scenes of McConaughey going like he's a Tusken Raider in Star Wars.
Well, if you were to ask me, like, what is more rewatchable, I mean, it's no doubt. Like, I can rewatch Next Generation like any time of the day of the week. The movie's got plenty of rewatchability.
Yes.
It's just atrocious.
It is.
Leatherface is a forethought. Like, it is like a shit show.
That's why I'm putting Leatherface last. I'm going to put Next Generation at 8.
Okay.
I'm going to do it.
Mine is Leatherface.
Yeah.
And then
Next Generation. And that's fine. Our biggest disagreement is Texas Chainsaw 2 with Hopper.
2 and 3. Yeah.
All right. So that's our ranking. Obviously, now we'll do our last ever Necronomicon for the Texas Chainsaw series. All things considered, I think the coolest shot kill is probably Melody at the very end. I agree with you. As dumb as it is, everything they do, I do like how it ends with Melody getting pulled out of the car and getting decapitated with a chainsaw. I actually really like that kill.
It's pretty shocking because you really thought for sure
he was just dead. I truly thought because he was 70. I'm like, they're not going to make a sequel. It's over.
Yeah, for me, it was 2. It was that one, or was it one in the car where he broke the guy's hand and then killed him with his own phone? But I can agree with you, like that scene when he plucks her out of the car and literally just cuts her head off in one whole motion.
It's great.
Pretty sick.
It is a good shot scene.
Sick.
So if you go with that, that's what we're gonna do.
Yep.
All right, Melody, you are everything that people say is bad about Zoomers. There's good Zoomers out there. Lila, I thought was a very well-written character, and she's a realistic character where she doesn't let her past trauma define her, but it's her friends and sister that are making her relive it. Melody, insufferable. You see a guy with a gun, you instantly have to antagonize the man with the gun.
Literally insane.
Every step and move you do is annoying, and that's a lot of the reason why I think I found your kill so satisfying. I kind of wanted Leatherface to win.
Yeah.
And he did.
Me too. I think that was probably one of the approaches they took.
Yeah.
You know, they made these characters truly insufferable.
Yes.
So you wanted them to die.
Yes. And that's why we are putting you in our Necronomicon. Welcome, Melody. And Bri, that's it. The end of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. As of right now, in the year 2024, there is not another one that we can review.
It's crazy. There's none ahead. I do think they'll be making one more.
I do too. But for now, we're caught up. And hey, it's a good thing to be caught up, because now if they do release one, we could review it right when it comes out.
Yeah.
We got nothing to catch up on.
It'll be fresh. We literally went through all 9 movies of Texas Chainsaw. Wow. What?
Yep. It's
amazing.
It's great. And I want to get caught up. So when they release, it's why we've been going through the Scream movies so fast. It's why we've been trying to catch up with Final Destination, because there's apparently a 6th one coming out.
Scream is the next one that we'll probably be finished with.
Yes.
After that, I really don't know what it looks like, because it looks like we're kind of like doing Halloween at like a 1 per year clip. It's kind of same thing with Fridays in a way, and Nightmares, we just really have to do something.
We did the first Nightmare and never touched it again. Same with, I mean,
Hellraiser
there's just
as well.
we kind of screwed ourselves by starting every series and not actually just trying to go through them one at a time.
Plow them through.
But we're doing our best to catch up with a lot of things. The issue is this: there's so many other movies we want to talk about, and we're not going to just do sequels constantly. People get bored of that.
Yep.
Which is why next month,
cool themes coming up for the next few months.
So
Cool fucking themes.
in June, we are doing Cabin Month. We're doing all movies that take place in a cabin.
Yeah, it's cool. It's not only summer cabin, by the way. There's some winter themes.
Yes. If the movie centralizes in one cabin, that's what we're doing. So, of course, you know we had to do it to you. We are starting off Cabin Month with The Evil Dead 2, the quintessential cabin like movie.
Yeah, I mean, we've already reviewed The Evil Dead, so it makes sense to do The Evil Dead 2, which is almost an entire remake of Evil Dead 1.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, that's like you said, it's a classic cabin movie. So amazing that we can kick it off, and you guys can already kind of think where we're going to go with this. We've already reviewed Cabin in the Woods,
right? So that's obviously not happening.
We've reviewed a couple of pretty strong cabin movies to this point.
Yeah, no. We have a fever, and the only prescription is more cabin.
That's true.
So with that said, we are the final podcast signing off, and we will see you next week where we figure out, how does Ash end up with a chainsaw as a hand in the sequels?
That's true. Is Sick a cabin movie?
I think it is.
They're in a cabin.
They are in a cabin, but we did it already, so.
All right, I am super excited for Cabin Month as we're really kicking off summer hot. This is the final podcast, the only podcast for horror comedy that you know and love. Please catch us every Monday, www.thefinalpodcast.com. New episodes also can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to us or listen to a podcast. That's where we'll be. And we'll see you guys next week.
Later.